way from Texas.
Yes, sir. Watch you every single day. Nobody lays it down like Uncle Neely and the pregame show.
Neely, pregame show behind the scenes of everything. And why does he get that kind of access? Why does he get that kind of access? Because trust is involved. You would never get the kind of access you desire unless there's trust and relationship. You're trying to put your up on game. That can help you get there. And we got a tremendous young man today that I absolutely played with, and he is all that and then some. He's probably the best ever at his position. Let's go straight to that, John. Let's go, baby.
Big brother, what's up? What's up?
What's going on?
Hey, everything good. Listen, man, what's up, guys? Good to connect with you guys, man. Look, Big Bro, anytime Big Bro call, who's y'all coach, right? It's something, it makes me respond immediately. Why? Because I was able to see and absorb, I thought, what made him great. And I think the people of greatness, they look at life differently. Like one of the things that I'm telling you, this younger generation has to understand, the bottom line of life, there's absolutely freaking nothing free. Nothing. We think it is, but we have no clue. My mentality has not changed since I was 10 years old, 14 years old. The game doesn't change. If the only thing you're waiting for is the season to start, then you're only relying on talent. That's it. The mentality of being a dog a lifestyle. That's a mentality. But that doesn't start with athletic prowess. It actually starts with spiritual education, like understanding who you are, whose you are. And a lot of us, I'm telling you, like, I have been around so many guys that were so much more talented than me. And the only thing I'm telling you, the only reason why I excelled and they didn't is because I fell in love with the Lord. I was never perfect, and never would I be. But something changed in my life years ago when I promised myself a man would never hit my mom again. But I promised myself I may not be the biggest, the fastest, or the strongest. But I tell you what, I don't know a person that's gonna flat out outwork me. And I'm not talking about just physically. Every day of your life, you have to ask yourself, what is the cost of what I'm doing? And 90% of us, trust me, you're afraid of work. We're afraid to fail. Listen, people live to die. I die to live. I get up every day and I figure out a way to get on my bike at 49 years old. I got 50 miles a day. And you say to yourself, oh man, what he doing? He's doing 50. Because the game is the game, and the game will come and the game will go. But I'm gonna tell you something that can never leave you. Is when you create the right relationship with God, and when you create this whole aura of a lifestyle, the game of life changes. You don't see it the same. I don't need nobody to encourage me. I just need brothers to uplift me. Because life is hard. The word says that man days on this earth will be filled with trouble. I'm not going to tell you what scripture it comes from. I want you to research it so you can understand. Even when you think you got time, you don't have time. I lost my son at 28 years old because the same foolishness that you guys have in front of you now, that's the same foolishness that took my son out from an overdose. As a father, you will never recover from that, ever. So my son, I wear him around my neck the rest of my life. And he always says, let's make today a great day. And I never understood how how we take time for granted, how we act like time is a friend of ours. You know, Proverbs 3:5 says, Prime, it says, trust in the Lord with all of your heart. And do not lean on your own understanding. Because if we do, we're in trouble. I lost him and I learned something. If you don't have a pro mentality about life, the game will pass you too quickly. The only thing that made that man great, that's your coach now, is he accepted nothing less. And now we're negotiating with, I'm great. Guarantee you, 90% of everybody sitting in this locker room gets up every day. And the first thing you grab is your phone. And if that's your equity, if that's your confirmation that you're successful, then 90% of you spiritually dead. And when you find yourself spiritually dead, it's hard to win. Easy to win games. Easy. Man, talent can win you some games. But when you talk about going to that next level of life, your mentality got to be totally different. Your taste buds in your mouth got to be bearing greatness. I don't start my day without picking up 3 books at one time, without going through 3. Because I know I'm flawed. I know I can't please God, not with the thoughts that I got. I can please him if I stay in his word. See, young kids, you gotta fall in love with God early. Then it becomes a relationship. Most of you guys got a relationship with girls, but y'all don't know who y'all are. See, it's hard to tell somebody you love them, but you don't love yourself. See, because when you love yourself, you challenge yourself. When you love yourself, you obey certain principles, kingdom principles. Now it's the likes and follows that excites us. Man, let me tell you something. I ain't gonna be long, big bro, because I want y'all to get to work, but I'm telling you, like, I stopped looking for a pat on the back when my father never came to pat me on the back. I never had a man touch me. Never had a man told me he loved me. So I found a way to love myself. I started loving myself by chasing pain. I wanted to know what pain felt like because I got tired of living it. I got tired of not having it. I sat in these same meetings 17 years in Baltimore. 17 years. And the difference of y'all and me, every speaker that ever came in there, I wrote down every word that was ever said. Prime, I'm gonna send you the notes of every person that ever came and spoke in the Ravens facility in 17 years. I wrote down every word. Why? Because I ain't the smartest. And I need to know, I need somebody to feed me. And if I'm not getting fed by more than just now what you guys are being fed with your social media and all of this falseness, man, social media can't get you to heaven. Nothing. And we keep failing because we keep trusting our talent. Your talent is just like your gift. It runs hand in hand with your curse. And if you don't know how to balance that thing out, man, let me tell you something. This life will eat you alive. And the ups and downs of wins and losses will start to determine how you see life. I learned more in my losses than I learned in my wins. I learned more in my failures than I did in my wins. My wins, they were cute. My losses defined who I am. On this side. 3 things. I want you to think about 3 things. Who are you? Who do you represent? And what are you chasing? Those questions got to be answered before you leave this earth. My son didn't get the chance. So I hope his heart was in the right place with the Lord. We have a duty. I got this whole men conference starting, big bro, and of course I'm gonna call you to come through, but it's called MAC. Many are called, but only few are chosen. And you ask yourself, why does the few have an ability to wear a gold jacket? Why? Because they were different. See, greatness is isolating. And most of the time, you're gonna be lonely. Because ain't too many people gonna go down that path with you. See, I'm gonna tell you some of y'all biggest problems. Y'all got the wrong people y'all hanging with. See, and y'all trying to carry everybody. God told me at 49 years old this season, I got something for you on the top of this mountain. But the only way you're gonna get there if you empty your bag. Because if you don't empty your bag, you carrying too much. And when you carrying that much, you can't get to where you want to get in life. So now we got all of these people. I told my sons the other day, I want everyone to write this down. Write down 10 people in your phone that you know can help you, can pray for you, and that has encouraged you in the last 30 days to be a better person. 10 people. Go back and look at the last 10 who you talk to every day, and how many of those people encourage you to get up and keep going. How many of them send you Bible scriptures and tell you, man, you should read this, without sending you the foolishness that surrounds social media. Man, I will never stop in understanding what our role is. Now people say, oh man, you done it. Look at who you are. I always tell people, don't look at my glory without understanding my story. Because if you can't understand my story, it's going to be hard for you to relate to me. It's going to be hard for you to ever embrace what greatness really is. That's why I'm telling you guys, there's a fact. Greatness, that window, it ain't as big as you think it is. And the extent of it ain't as long as you think it is. So if the opportunity presents itself, I gotta ask this, why not walk around a locker room where everybody is held accountable? That's a different thought process. It's when your coaches no longer have to coach you, all they got to do is unleash you. See, that's when a coach say, man, I got different mentalities in here. When the meeting started at 8, but I'm in the meeting at 7:45. When coach said, oh, that's the last sprint, but we played together. Every ball, every pass, I got to touch that. Why? Because that's a mentality. I'm hungry. I got to taste it every play. See, defenders now, if the play go play side, and if it go away from me, I don't have to run over there and chase it. A lion on the Serengeti don't have a choice. If he ain't running, he ain't eating. See, do me a favor. Don't listen to me. Just absorb enough of what I'm saying to go challenge yourself every day. Challenge yourself to do the opposite. My greatest reward in life, in high school, kid walked up to me on the field and showed me 5 pieces of crack cocaine in my hand. And he said, this is our way out. And I looked at him and I said, you cannot know the mother that I have. Because there's no way I can go back to my mother and even attempt to sell drugs. I had 39 homeboys in my hometown. And out of 39, athletically wise, I was number 39. I was number 40. I was the last one they was gonna pick. And then I told myself one day, I'm gonna find myself doing the opposite of what they do. Because talent don't work hard. Arrogance disrespects their mom. And foolery speaks ignorance from where the power of life and death is found, which is in the tongue. So I done the opposite. Whatever majority of the people start doing, I start doing the opposite. That's what my sons the other day, Prime, and they was like, Dad, why you never be checking social media? If I check social media, I'm gonna remain spiritually dead. Because there's nothing on there for me. Social media can't help me. When I was down in those, when I was in that dungeon, Prime, and when I was doing what I was doing, I ain't had nobody talking about like. I ain't had nobody talking about, oh, I love this guy. What? Take what you want. Take it. If you want it. So guys, look, man, I travel the world having these conferences. And now, the truth always has to be spoken. It's not up to us. It's up to you. It's not up to your coach. It's up to you. Their job is to give you the information. Your job is to absorb it, regurgitate it, and absorb it again. Because if you ain't sitting with that word, you're already in trouble. The hardest thing in the world to do is compare yourself to somebody else. So I stopped competing with other people. I started competing with myself. And that's why every day of my life, I get up and I go back to work. And there's no other way that I would love to leave you guys with understanding this. If I didn't say it, and your coach didn't say it, and who gonna say it? A lot of us didn't have daddies. I hope most of you do. But unless you start to search the world for knowledge, remember, knowledge is the application of wisdom. So you actually have to be chasing something before you can be granted wisdom. If you read some of the great men in the Bible, although they were great, on the back half of life, Solomon and David, they displeased God because they wanted to do it their way. Guys, every day of your life, choose right, wrong, good, evil. Life, death is in your tongue. Stop trying to please everybody else. Somebody told me the other day, man, I want to be with this woman. I want to show this woman I can love her. You just told me that you're depressed. If you're depressed, then how can you love somebody if you don't love yourself? But loving yourself is training every day and breaking yourself down, pounding yourself to the ground until the only thing that exudes from your spirit is greatness. If that's not your mentality, when the sun comes up, whether you're a lion or gazelle, if you ain't running, you ain't chasing greatness. Yeah. Well, big bro, I love you, man. Yeah. Always. Yeah.
Is there anything that you wish you knew sooner in your career?
Is there anything I wish I did sooner?
You knew sooner in your career.
Yeah, man. I think in my career, the first thing I would have done, and Prime, I would love to take a few more, but it's because it's really good when they do this. But one of the things that I said when I wrote this the other day, in my career, I wish I wouldn't have trusted so many people. I just wish, because we trust so many people. We trust so many agents. We trust so many trainers. We trust so many people, that claims that they can help you. And when you realize and you go back, you realize how much time I actually wasted with somebody that ain't even headed where I'm headed. And that, for me, that's equity, right? That's your time. Your time is your equity. Like, whoever you spend your time with, because of the moment that I started wasting time, and I'm gonna just tell you guys where Rod Woodson, the great Rod Woodson, helped change my life, coming into my life so early. When he got to me, man, I was 25 years old, you know, so going to the clubs every Friday night, that was routine, you know, like whatever, right? Because I didn't understand the game. And I never forget, he told me once, he said, you can't spend time with that many broken spirits. When you walk in that club, it's so many spirits broken. So he started going with me. And then the last time he went, he tapped me on my shoulder like at 10:30. He was like, we gotta go. We know, we gotta go. And I was like, wow, really? Man, let me get a drink, let me do this, let me do that. And 25 years old, that was the last time I entered a club, because my spirit doesn't resonate with the wrong people. My spirit can't sit well walking in a place where most of those people are broken, right? That's why they consume so many different drugs and so much alcohol, and they get drunk and because they want to forget that they still got to get up in the morning and go back to work. So that's one of the things for me. Like I just wrote it the other day in a conference, that one of the things that I regret the most, and I don't regret that much in life, I'm just being honest with you guys. Every mistake I've made, look, I own it. But one of the things I do regret in life, great question, is the time that I wasted with people that wasn't headed where I was headed. Yeah. Yeah.
When you first started breaking down your opponent, what was the first thing you looked for on film?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I did something, this is gonna be really quick, but Damani Dawson, who your coach knows very well, is probably one of the most dominant centers in all of football, Hall of Famer. And so when I came in Baltimore early, Damani was the most dominant center, and I was just this young 215-pound kid running around. And he had every angle on me. And I came back in the meeting, and Marvin Lewis, my defensive coordinator, cursed me out so bad. And I got up and walked out the meeting, and I said, don't curse me. I said, teach me. I don't know how to beat him. Like, that guy is good. He climbed, and if you're a linebacker, you know that center, once he get out that first wave defensive lineman, and he able to jump up to that linebacker, you in trouble, right? Because now he cuts half of the defense. And Marvin was like, well, if you want to learn how to beat him, beat me every morning at 6:30 in my office. You ask me how I watch film. 1998 until 2013, I was in every defensive meeting. I was in every install meeting. There's nothing that the defensive coordinator did not know that I did not go through before he gave it to the guys. So when we started breaking down film, I started asking for my own computer. And I started asking on the play screens, when somebody runs screens. I got beat by some screens early in my career, and I was so disgusted on how easy it was to see the screen, but because my eyes was not mature enough, I did not know how to watch film. So then I started to study from, okay, so now we have tendencies, second down and 8, right? They do this, they do that. But then I started paying attention to people's body language. Then I started paying attention to people's formations. Then I started paying attention to every human being has a flaw. And what is that flaw? Fatigue makes cowards of us all. So when I went from install to looking at a 2x2 set and watch a receiver come back and motion and goes all the way across the screen, and I'm like, wait, he wants to take my eyes there, but the back is gonna step weak side and gonna throw a backside screen. And I became pissed off at that offensive coordinators thought that I was that dumb. Thought that defensive players couldn't think. So I took the game of film and I made it my Bible. When I walked in meetings, before coach got ready to install the next team, I had already been through the next team. Because partying stopped at 25. Right? Peyton Manning's wife ran up to me at the Pro Bowl and was like, oh my gosh, I know so much about you. I'm like, how you know that much about me? Because my husband studies you. He has this whole film room that all he does is study you. So guess what I went and did, Prime? I built my own film room. Because I want to know what you know. Right? And man, I'm telling you, I took film and film. I started breaking down screens. So every time they would just break down screens for me, right? Then I would break down, for a linebacker, I would break down first and second down runs, right? Boom. Then I would just click, click, click. Now I'm talking about guys, I'm leaving work at 5:30, 6 o'clock, maybe get home at 7, take an hour and a half break, 8 o'clock, 8:30, and then I'm probably watching film from 9 to probably 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm back up at 5:30 in the morning. I did this for 17 years, right? Because I wanted to know everything. And so film became to me, you know, there's a guy, I won't say his name because, you know, people be hating, whatever. But there's a person we used to always play, show you how depth I was with him. If he came up on the center and his left foot was flat on the ground, it was 100% wrong. If his heel was up, it was 100% play action pass. I had a guard. If you ever saw the play that I made against Darren Sproles, they ran that same power play 4 times in a row on Monday Night Football the week before that. And they gained the first down every time. And the backside guard, every time that he got ready to pull to the right, he would switch out his right hand from being in the ground and put his right hand on his hip. And if you saw me looking at that play, I'm saying his right hand is up, I'm gone. I'm not obeying the rules, coach. I'm not going against coach. But I'm telling coach, I've studied enough that I promise you I make this play. Bro, game over. What you do with film makes on the field fun. That's the best way I can tell you how I watch film. I wanted to watch everything. I wanted to know everything. And Marvin Lewis, to this day, I started to draw up. If you want to really impress your coaches, I started to draw up 15 plays. Every game, I had 15 plays that my coaches would let me come out the gate with to give us the first 15. And me, you know me, because I'm so confident in my players, we going 3 and out. We going 3 and out. We going 3 and out. Prime was there. When Prime got to us, I was drawing them up, submitting them to my defensive coordinators. And then they was coming back at me saying, man, you called the game better than us. Yes, because one of y'all linebackers, one of y'all generals on defense, y'all gonna have to take over on the field action. Coaches can coach you, but you got to be the coach on the field. You got to be where that D lineman. You should be in the 1 or you should be in the 3. You need to shade a little more because tip right. All of these little things, man, you play in your head. When somebody came to the line and I see hard knuckles in the ground, I'm screaming, rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. Because I'm letting my D lineman know y'all can get dirty up there. Right? Y'all coach D, Warren Sapp will tell you, listen, if I'm telling you rabbit, bro, we hunting. We got to buckle up, right? We got to play hard nose. But if I'm saying bird, that's pass. Right? So now you can get loose. You can wiggle with them. But that's ownership. If I don't tell you nothing else, take ownership in the game. I can go down many guys that's playing the game right now, and the thing that you don't see on film is you don't see ownership. You just see people line up, drop in a spot, and react. Now, I was a disruptor because I knew everything about the film. Yeah.
Let me tell you something, guys. This guy's not lying one bit. Sugar, you remember I was giving you a look on the scout team, was doing a walkthrough, and I got a tailback. And I'm like, I'm 37 years old, but he can't run with me. Remember I had a flare, I had something in the flare, and it played like he wasn't paying attention to me. And by the time I got 3 yards past this line of scrimmage, he was coming to me, oh, I see you, man. You ain't going nowhere. He was already on me, man, and I appreciate you. He studied his butt off like no other. He ran that defense like no other. He took ownership, but he practiced like he played. So when he played, it was like practice. And greatest ever, guys. And you can see that Florida mentality. The great one study. Am I right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Except that, where you at?
Yes, sir.
Great one study, right?
Yes,
Know the
sir.
game like the back of your hand, right?
Yeah.
Hey, sure, I appreciate you, man.
I love you, brother.
Thank you. I got you. Just call me. You know I'll be there.
I I got you. Guys, God bless you guys, man. All right.